contingent, the Indian contingent is not going to speak any further about these latest twists of events that have in fact come from the Paris Olympics when it comes to talking any further about the norm. But what exactly are they going to be doing about it? Has there been a past instance like this where a player has ended up losing that medal for not making it to the weight category?
We spoke to Mr. Phogat about this also, and he said there's nothing we can do about it because this is as per the rule books. Because before every match, the player is weighted, and then only that particular player, be it men or women, are allowed to fight in those particular matches. And then, so now this news coming in has absolutely left Mr. Phogat, Mr. Mahavir Phogat, in tears. In fact, just moments back when we spoke to Mr. Phogat and the family members of Vinesh, they all said that today is the day when they were very definite that she's going to bring gold for the country. But now this news, Mr. Phogat also, he's not able to talk much. He's in tears right now because he knows that the kind of hard work Vinesh and the entire coaching staff had put in the last 4 to 5 years was immense. And now when we asked now, ab kya ho sakta hai, to that he said, ab usko 2028 ki tayari karni hai, which means now she has to prepare for the next Olympics. This is the word coming in from Mahavir Phogat. We asked him, is there any remedy to this situation? He said, no, absolutely not. There is no remedy to this situation because this is as per the rule books, and that is why Vinesh has been actually disqualified because of being around 100 to 150 grams overweight.
Right. Yash, stay with us. We'd also like to read out the statement that has been put out by the Indian International Olympic Association. Now, they have said that it is with regret that the Indian contingent shares the news of the disqualification of Vinesh Phogat from women's wrestling 50 kg. This is the Indian Olympic Association putting out this statement. Despite the best efforts by the team through the night, she weighed in a few grams over 50 kilograms this morning. No further comments will be made by the contingent at this time. The Indian team requests you to respect Vinesh's privacy. This is what the Indian contingent and the Indian Olympic Association has put out in that statement, and they further go on to say that it will like to focus on the competitions on hand, on the games further that the Indian contingent is going to look at. And right now Vinesh's privacy must be respected, and that's priority. So a heartbreaking piece of news there. Yash is constantly with us. He has spoken to the members of Vinesh Phogat's family. Remember, every Indian was gunning for that glory that Vinesh was looking at achieving. She had won those 2 bouts back to back, and they were unachievable goals that she had achieved. She had even defeated the undefeatable champion, and after that we were looking at her winning that gold as well for India. The very first time an Indian woman wrestler who could have made it to the finals of Indian Olympics, but that was not to be. She will not even make it to the podium because that entire silver category will have to be done away with after in this heartbreaking twist of fate. Vinesh Phogat, the wrestler, has been disqualified from Paris Olympics after she could not make the weight on the morning, that is today, of her 50 kilogram gold medal bout. Now, we've heard the Indian Olympic Association respond to what has happened. Earlier, even sources had said that the wrestler was roughly 100 grams over the permissible limit, which could lead to her disqualification, and the unthinkable, in fact, has happened now. Yash, you had spoken to Vinesh's father just now, and he, of course, is well aware of the rules. He mentioned how she was a few grams above the permissible limit, and nothing really can be done now. So another 4 years that she'd have to wait for the next Olympics for her to shine for India.
Well, Griha, that is the unfortunate bit of news. Actually, she has to go now for the 2028 Olympics because Mahavir ji also mentioned that there's nothing can be done about this very situation because this is as per the rule books. If you weigh more than the permissible weight category, then you will be disqualified. This is what the rule book says. Because till now the performance by Vinesh Phogat has been spectacular. We know how she fought her way to the finals with an absolute, like the last match, if we talk about how she actually, in the first minute, she got that very first point, and in the preceding bouts also, she was unbeatable. And in fact, from 5-0, she
Yes.
won the semi-final. So you can imagine the kind of momentum Vinesh had, and losing without even fighting for the gold is something very heartbreaking, not just for the contingent over there, not just for the people, but we have to also think about the athlete who is actually going to suffer from this very thing, because after fighting and losing is one another thing, but without only giving the battle, the Vinesh Phogat is actually going to lose this, and in fact being disqualified, not even silver in her kitty this time around. So this is definitely a big blow to the
Yes.
entire Indian contingent, and also specifically to the Phogat family.
Absolutely. Yash, I'd request you to stay on with us. Our colleague Shivani Gupta continues to be with us as well. Shivani, earlier you were talking about how Vinesh has always, in fact, competed in a weight range which was way above the 50 kilogram category. I think 57 kilograms category is what she always had fought her bouts in. But this time she was, in fact, vying for the 50 kg category, and that 100 grams of her being overweight has led to her losing the medal that she just won for the country, that is the silver medal as well. Explain to us, how do these rules really work?
Well, it's pretty simple. You know, just like in boxing and in wrestling, there are weight categories, and you are allowed to compete in a certain category only according to your weight. The weight categories are chosen, of course, very carefully by athletes. Sometimes they switch their weight categories. This is not unheard of. But, of course, it takes a lot of training. And it takes a lot of preparation to maintain that weight if that is not your natural weight category. So Vinesh used to compete in the 54 kilograms and bigger categories, but she wanted to switch to this category, and she did that in the run up to these Olympics. She came close to missing the cut in an Olympic qualifier also, but managed it. There are various reasons why athletes may do so, but of course it's really heartbreaking if you are unable to keep that weight. And I think I cannot quite put in words how crestfallen Vinesh would be after 2016, where she suffered an injury
Yes.
during her match and had to be stretchered off and missed out on a gold. She was a gold contender 8 years ago. To now, where she's in the final and a gold contender again, and has played so beautifully, but has to be disqualified. This is going to be embarrassment also, not just for her, but for the country as well, because all of her results will have to be struck off. And, that win that she notched up against Susaki from Japan,
Yes.
which was the first international win by any athlete against the Japanese legendary wrestler, is no longer a legal win now. So, this is going to be a chapter that, frankly, is one almost unprecedented in Indian Olympic history. It is unprecedented in Indian Olympic history, and in sports as well, in global sports at such a stage, this doesn't happen very often. Sometimes you have athletes disqualified due to some other reasons, like code of conduct, etc.
Yes.
But to have you yourself be in the final of a weight category and then realize that you are actually above that weight category is absolutely heartbreaking.
Shivani, you've already mentioned that it doesn't usually happen, it's unprecedented. But when it comes to Vinesh going for a lower weight category, what was the possible reason for her having done so? And of course, there will be a lot of conjecture, a lot of talk about how that went against her.
Yes, switching your weight category is a difficult prospect, but like I said, it's not unheard of. Athletes do change their categories. Our boxers have changed their categories. Nikki Zareen has changed her category, the one that she was playing in this Olympics. So this happens. Those decisions are made for by your staff and by your coaches and you together for various different reasons, and the reasons may differ from player to player. Sometimes you are on the lower end of a weight category and therefore might find it difficult to compete in that weight category. So you want to be, let's say, at the brink of a weight category. and be able to take on the competitors in that category. So those are some of the reasons why things like this happen.